I might be leaning down a little, might be up a couple pounds, I don't know, but in that same comparison, this field is up a few pounds from last year. Check this out, guys. This was a new hayfield 2 years ago, and unfortunately it got planted at, well, in the middle of a drought. We've been in a drought for the last 3 years up until the last couple months. So essentially this is the first good year or above average rainfall that this new crop has seen, and it has taken off. There's a little bit of variability in it, but it's pretty consistent overall, and it's gonna yield like crazy today. We're gonna be cutting the fastest way we know how, and that's with our Krone triple mowers on a fast track. And we're gonna compare this year's crop to last year's, because it's actually hilarious. If you guys haven't seen one of the first couple videos we ever made on this channel, it was about us hitting rocks, and we hit them in this field. We actually hit a rock that cost us $3,600, and it was just over here. The rock's been picked, so that's not gonna happen again today, but we gotta show you just some of the footage from last year versus this year. It's insane. Now that we've had a little bit of rainfall in this field with a bit of fertilizer from Replenish Nutrients, has had a chance to stretch its legs. So as you can see, I'm 6'4", and this brome grass is up to there. So very, very tall, 5.5 foot tall brome grass. The alfalfa, which is probably about a 50% mixture ratio in this field. The alfalfa is probably 4 or 5 inches past my knee. The Timothy's probably, well, Timothy's here up to about my belly button. So couldn't be more happy with this field this year. Happy to cut it. We are gonna burn some diesel here today. I can't believe what 1 year has done as far as a yield difference. This is bonkers. So as we said, we use a lot of Replenish Nutrients biofertilizers, and this field last year didn't produce a lot, but it was first year hay, so we threw it with a pretty good dose of 300 pounds of Hesso. And this year we put another 300 pounds on. When the hay field was brand new last year, actually the fall before, we threw down about 120 pounds of starter nitrogen with it, and now this is where we're at. So it's pretty impressive, that biofertilizer. I don't know if we'd go back to synthetics, because I know we've had a lot of rain, but the dark green color of this crop is incredible. You know, we've actually we've sent some tissue tests off on this field just to see what the uptake is on our sulfur and phosphorus. So we'll get those results back probably in a couple weeks, but you can tell just by the color of this crop and the dark green color that she's healthy. She's not deficient in anything, so we're pretty excited about that. Well, when I was greasing this morning, I noticed missing a blade, which is fine, that tends to happen, but kind of nice. I guess it's not toolless. You do have this Krone tool, but you don't need an impact gun or any kind of wrench to change these knives out. So it's pretty quick and not much of an inconvenience, but I guess we're spending more time talking about it now than it actually took to fix it. So let's get to work. I'm gonna be a hot, sweaty mess express today. Is that bad? Well, a few of you fellow Krone people might recognize this machine, the Easy T. I'm just kidding. The C and the U got blown off by the pressure washer, so I guess we'll have to order new decals. But no, I'm joking around. A lot of the Krone guys don't always recognize this unit because the apron are the typical Krone yellow color, but we have an added product on here called the Rock Block. A friend of ours down in North Dakota developed this, and it's a protection mechanism to prevent rocks from damaging equipment and the operator. We actually have had 2 rocks on these triple mowers break windows on the fast track, both this rear corner as well as the door. So as soon as that happened, we phoned up our friend Mr. Horder down at the Rock Block and bought a set of these. I'll show you guys the website. If you're ever looking in some protective equipment for disc mines and cutters, these guys make protection systems for pretty well any cutter on the market, and they work. All it does is provide a extra layer of protection between the equipment and the operator and the rocks of the cutter bar. Those cutter bars are spinning at 3,000 plus RPM. This is about a 3/16 of an inch plastic or rubber, and we've never had an issue since. The glass, the operator's been safe, as well as a bunch of the paint on the tractor. So very happy with that product and easy to install. The company's called The Rock Block at Hoarders Farm and Ranch Supply. Check them out. Well, we just made one round on the outside headland of the field, and that was probably the hardest cutting I've ever put this fast track and triple mowers into. It was slow. Today's gonna be a slow day. We're not gonna be breaking land speed records like we usually do with this combination. I did just get a code and I have a boost leak. We did have that when this tractor was brand spanking new. One of the charge hoses coming off the intercooler actually had a small rub in it from the vibration. So I'm just gonna dive into that real quick, and I know where to look for that and just see maybe it rubbed in that same spot again, but we're gonna take 5. Kind of a dangerous spot with that fan right there. Anyway, I think we'll just pump the fuel, pump the throttle, and start to build some boost pressure, and I'll listen for a leak. Well, I don't hear a boost leak coming from that spot, so I'm gonna grab a wrench and start just checking hose clamps, make sure nothing loosened off. That was crazy. I hope that was the problem. The hose clamp on the same hose that was replaced when the tractor was new, the hose clamp was a bit loose. So maybe just that hose broke in and the hose clamp loosened off a little bit, but yeah, it gave her quite a few turns there and snugged it up. Let's put the shield back on and put her under some real load and see if it works. Is it just me or is it hot in here? It's not a rap song. It's getting hot in here. I'm not gonna go any further. Yeah, so the error code is gone. We are working probably 90% engine load climbing this hill, cutting this hay. And we're only doing about 6 miles an hour, which is pretty slow, 9 to 10 kilometers an hour, but still pretty fast cutting. It's just this thing's capable of doing a lot more, but it just puts it into perspective how much material is going through these 3 headers right now. It's incredible. I should be cutting way faster now. That's weird. I lost power, but there's no code. But we are in a spot of probably the thickest spot in the whole field. I wonder if that's why, I don't know. And there's the code. Oh, I thought now that we were out of seeding season and into haying season, our luck was gonna change. Actually, the funny part is I was thinking about a name that we could name this video, and I was gonna name it Cutting Hay the Fastest Way We Know How. And we ain't doing this so fast. Farming ain't easy, so stay tuned. I see some oil. It's not a lot, but there's oil on the front valve cover. Oil right now, is on the top hose, where the top hose coming off the intercooler crosses over top of the valve cover. Yeah, it's the delivery air to the turbo. Well, we were just chatting with Noble Equipment on troubleshooting a couple things on the charge pressure side of the turbo system, and we are gonna go home and rob a sensor off of the charged air manifold off the other fast track. So there's another fast track at home, and we're only a couple miles from home. So, well, we're back home and waiting for a technician. Noble's gonna send a tech out. They got to plug into the tractor. There's only so much they can do from the telematics over the air and satellites. We limped it home so that it can be at least in a clean shop and beside the other fast track. We got about an hour and a half before a tech can be here. Well, I might actually drop the rear mower off of this fast track and hook up to the drill. The drill's washed and ready to be parked for a couple weeks before we start trying to seed our second crop. So we'll find something to do. Thank you, Noble Equipment. You guys came out and really really saved our butt there. We had a turbo leak, a boost leak problem with that tractor. What can I say? Stuff happens. The equipment tech from Noble Equipment found a hairline crack in one of the stainless steel tubes. It was right beside one of the manufactured welds on the tube, right beside the flange going into the turbo. So if you could imagine the heat there, but obviously a manufacturing tolerance there that sprung a little leak, and that tiny microscopic crack was enough to trigger the boost leak alarm, and that's why we threw a code. Well, something we probably don't get to say maybe once every 20 years is we are unhooking the drill last night to wash it, put it away, and going to cut hay the next morning. In our area, there should be a 6-week gap from the finish of seeding season to the beginning of hazing season. That's very status quo. And well, this year is the furthest thing from status quo. So anyway, let's go open some gates and cut some hay.
Let's do it.
Nothing to it
but to do it.
Hey. Got a smile on my face because, well, we haven't had much of a hay crop in the last couple of years. Well, 3 years as a matter of fact, and it's looking pretty good this year. My only complaint, and I don't want to be negative, but some of the fields are a bit inconsistent, but that's just due to the variability in the soil and roots that might have got damaged in all that drought. But no, very happy. Everything's working good. I have to say, this has been actually one of the easiest startups to hand season, because this was the 2nd or 3rd year we've used the winter check program, and just all the equipment was dialed in the winter time, and well, pretty easy to just hook on and go. So pretty thankful that we're cutting a good crop here today, but also with how busy it's been and how many funny things have happened to us here this spring. Just using the front header to finish off that last little bit of the field. This is exactly a 50-acre field, and as you can see, we just have the rear mowers up, so we're not running all mowers right now, just the front ones down and the front PTOs on. These mowers, these are the Krone Easy Cuts, B870, so letter B, 870 CV. So we're using the conditioning vanes, the tines, as a conditioner. But the 870 is 8.7 meters wide. And with that machine, we've been doing 14 to 17 kilometers an hour today, cutting a pretty heavy crop, maybe 2.5 ton to the acre hay crop. when we had all the headers engaged and on the ground cutting, we were burning in about that 35, 36 liters an hour of fuel burn. But the most important thing is acres an hour. And an almost exactly 50-acre field took us almost exactly 2 hours. And looking at my timesheet, we keep digital time logs of all our fields, and 2 hours and 8 minutes. So we are really, really close to that 25 acres an hour with these triple mowers. So a little fun fact for you on a Sunday. Anyway, got to get out and open the gate and move to the other side here. Yes, I got to stop and use the little boys' room, but not for that reason. I had to jump out and show you guys this. I just got to throw this into perspective here. How much hay is here this year? This field was our best field last year, and it was still absolutely brutal yielding because we had no rain. We had, I think, 3 inches of rain all year, all last summer, I should say. And we only get 1 cut of hay here. And this year, it's been cold and wet, perfect growing conditions for hay. And now the tables have turned. It's so hot and dry, we are unseasonably hot, and there is no more rain in the forecast. So hay season might just be over like that. we're along for a ride here, but check this out. I am holding the camera at about my chest level, looking at that fast track. The brome grass is taller than the tires. I'm 6'4". In front of the Farmin' Ain't Easy logo is a piece of brome grass taller than the Farmin' Ain't Easy logo. So, I don't know. While you guys are comprehending just how tall that piece of brome grass is in front of the Farmin' Ain't Easy logo, maybe hit like and subscribe. You know, we're trying to put out some fun and educational and, well, content for you guys. So here we go. But these Krone mowers, holy, I'd show you them, but we just can't see them right now. The grass is too tall. Oh man. We haven't had a good hay crop in 5 years. And then prior to 2019, the last good hay crop we had was about 2014, 2015. So it seems like every 5 years or so, we get a decent hay crop. And well, now's our turn. That's agriculture. You got to look at the 20-year average. You can't bank on perfect yields every year. Yeah, you got to look at that 20-year average. You don't make money every year. Well, you probably lose money a lot of years, but every once in a while you catch a little luck. And well, as you guys have seen this spring, we need a little bit of luck. I got to stop filming here because I got to use that little boys' room that we were talking about earlier. It's kind of funny. I wouldn't even have to hide. Nobody could see what I was doing right now. It'd be pretty funny with neighbors driving down the road and I'm taking care of business. Just, hi. he wouldn't have a clue. The grass is too tall. Oh man. Keep having to jump out of this tractor here for a sec. Stretch my legs. Pick up a rock. Throw it by the fence so we don't hit that ever again, and man, just enjoy the aroma. Fresh cut hay, there's nothing better. And this hay is insane. Oh, it's awesome, I love it. I hope everybody gets a good hay crop this year. This piece is as tall as me. Oh man, I know I was joking about the Farmin' Ain't Easy logo on my hat, but geez, if the neighbor were to drive by right now, check this out. He wouldn't even be able to see the Farmin' Ain't Easy logo on my hat. The grass is too tall. I guess if he saw the Farmin' Ain't Easy logo on my hat, he'd want one. It's not the end of the world. Maybe I should start selling merch. Are we there yet? Maybe just stick to selling brome grass. Oh, we're doing that. I'm not sure if I've complained about this, but we were gonna name the title of this video Cutting Hay as Fast as We Can, because obviously we've got some unbelievably hot weather right now. And we don't want this good quality crop to get overripe. So we're cutting her down as fast as we can thanks to that fast track and triple mowers. So here we are cutting hay as fast as we can, but this is actually the slowest I've ever cut hay with that tractor and triple mower setup. There's so much hay here that I feel like I'm working the tractor too hard. I don't like running stuff at 90 or 100% engine load. Cutting a little slower, like 5-6 mile an hour, like, man, the amount of material coming through this thing, we're at 5-6 mile an hour. That's insane, but contradictory to the title of this video, cutting hay as fast as we can, 5 or 6 mile an hour it is. So as much as I'm cursing that, because I'm used to driving a little faster, I guess 315 pounds of that PKNS Hesso product from Replenish Nutrients, all she needs is a little rain and you got yourself a hay crop. Let's go. Guys, I just thought of something. This video is probably wrapping up. Thank you so much for watching it. But get this, the field that we've referenced here and showing you in this video is actually the field we filmed our very first YouTube video at. So please go back and check out Hard Hits in Hayfields. We hit a rock last year in this field and it cost us $3,600. We did quite a bit of damage to one of these Krone triple mowers. And it's no fault of Krone, we hit a big slab of granite. If you want to see some destruction on farm equipment, go back and check that video out. Go check out how crazy of a drought and poor yield we were in for the last couple of years, especially last year, and compare that to this year, how Mother Nature can change things for us. So thanks again for watching this video, and thank you guys for sticking with us here. I know we're a younger channel, a smaller channel, and wow, this last year has been it's been a roller coaster. So thanks for watching. Thank you for all those that subscribe and religiously watch our videos and comment on our videos. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night.